Hello guys, today we're gonna talk about, I just watched last night Avengers Infinity War, and, man, let's just talk about some stats about it first. This movie was, 2018 release movie, it's rated PG-13, and it's about 2 hours and 29 minutes long. It's a long one. So far, it has 9.1 out of 10 on IMDb with about 120,000-ish user votes, and has 68% on Metacritic with about 52 critics. And we all know who stars in it: Robert Downey Jr., and Chris Hemsworth, and lots of people. It was directed, of course, by the Russo brothers, Anthony and Joe Russo, who's been involved in this MCU for a while. With Winter Soldier, I think was their first one. On Rotten Tomatoes, the movie has 84% by critics, with about 260 critics, and 93 by audiences, with about 700-ish right now, but that's going to increase over time. The consensus on Rotten Tomatoes is that Avengers Infinity Wars ably juggles a dizzying array of MCU heroes in the fight against their greatest threat yet. And the result is a thrilling, emotionally resonant blockbuster that this is weird. They put mostly in parentheses, so that mostly realizes it's Hold on a sec, I need to check that word. My handwriting's terrible, by the way. Gargantuan ambitions. Alright, first of all, a lot of people I've read are quite upset of the movie's conclusion. And I won't talk about spoilers right away. First of all, I just want to get away right here. This movie is a part 1. Originally, when the Infinity War movies were planned, they were called Infinity War Part 1 and Infinity War Part 2, with Part 2 being released around a year after Part 1. But they decided to drop the Part 1 and Part 2 parts of the names because they planned on having MCU movies between the Infinity War ones that would affect the storyline of the two-parter itself. Like Ant-Man's coming out in July, and Captain Marvel will be coming out later on after that. So they felt like that it wouldn't be a true two-parter in the same vein like the last two Twilight movies were a two-parter. The last two Harry Potter movies were a two-parter. That you couldn't watch the two-parter consecutively and the story flows. It wouldn't work like that. That's why they did. But then here's the problem with that, though. A lot of people feel like going in thought this was going to be like the whole story was going to be in one movie, and that's not the case whatsoever. So when the movie ends and shit happens, don't cry. Don't lose your shit because it's not going to end there, and it's just... Alright, and the movie itself, it's standard, cool MCU stuff. We've seen MCU juggle multiple heroes in movies before. They're throwing more in because Guardians of the Galaxy's in it. You all know this stuff. So, I'm going to say right now, it's a great movie. Watch it. Don't listen to the strong minor hate. It's a good movie. And now we're going to talk about spoilers. So here's the thing. First, I have to say that everyone's wondering who dies. Well, Loki dies very early on. Heimdall dies very early on. Lots of other characters die. Gamora dies, and Vision dies. And then Thanos succeeds, and his goal is to erase half the population of the whole universe, because he has a philosophy that the movie explains very well. And along with that, about half of the heroes are erased as well, give or take. And so they're erased too, and it's pretty heartbreaking too, especially, yeah. But a character, Red Skull, is in this movie. Fucking Red Skull. That is like my favorite moment of the whole movie. Because ever since the first Avenger movie, I've always wondered what the fuck happened to Red Skull. And this movie answers the question. And that is the greatest joy. Now I want to see him and Captain America fight it out one more time after all that shit went down. But yeah, that was awesome. So I guess any flaw, it's an awesome movie. I think the only real flaw of it is the fact, a minor flaw, they should have kept part 1 and part 2. I know it technically would have been a true two-parter because of, the movies in between, but it would have eased a lot of audience members knowing that it was a part 1 and that this wasn't the end of these characters. Because some of the heroes that died, that were not died but were erased, were heroes that were, some of the heroes were heroes that had early movies going on, so it was weird. And yeah, it's kind of interesting how this movie ends. Oh, and there's only one extra credit scene. They don't have a mid-credit scene. They have only an end credit scene, but it's pretty cool. But yeah, there's not... I mean, I know I'm talking about spoilers, but there's not really much to spoil in the movie. It's kind of what you expect. You have MCU characters meeting other MCU characters they haven't met before and hanging out with them, getting to know them, visiting places they've never been before. It's kind of standard stuff at this point. The only difference is that it's taken up a level. But yeah, there's not really... It's an awesome movie. It's just, what could I say about that hasn't already been said? Thanos is fucking awesome. This is really a Thanos movie, really, more than anything, which I was surprised how much of a Thanos movie this was. And I think that was a smart move, because Thanos is their big villain. We never really knew that much about him, so that was good. I think the only thing I would change is the name. I would have kept the part 1 part in it. I think that would have been smart, and I think it would have calmed down the hateful people that cried because. And it's common sense too. It'd be like, yeah, MCU's gonna kill off this hero or that hero. Yeah, they're gonna do that. Yeah, that's smart. No, they're not. Okay, there's more to it than that. And if you watch the movie, you'd know. Okay, at this point, I'm sorry, I'm going off a tangent here, but at this point, if you're not keeping track of Marvel characters' behaviors and how the MCU operates and how they handle their heroes, then that's on you. Because this thing's been around for 10 years with so many films and a TV series and Netflix and shit. I mean, you should know. Even if you just do the movies, you should have a good idea what's going on. And if you don't, that's on you. So don't jump into this and bitch and moan about, this and that. Okay? I mean, for God's sakes, have a little common sense. I'm sorry. That was a bit more hateful than I wanted to be, but it's just, I just keep hearing about it, and seeing it, I'm just like, chill the fuck out. I don't know. Sometimes sometimes a good movie gets shit that's undeserved, and I'm sensitive to that because I know how fucking hard people work to make movies come to life. And let me tell you something, in this day and age, Marvel movies are pretty much the savior of the film industry. If it wasn't for Marvel movies or superhero movies in general, in all honesty, the film industry wouldn't be very interesting, especially if continuing trends of overuse of CGI and all that shit continued. It would be a shit show. There wouldn't be that many good movies. So when people are criticizing this movie, it kind of irks me a bit, because it's like how fucking ungrateful are you for trashing the MCU just because you didn't, because it's really your fault. You didn't you didn't follow it. You didn't listen to the movie. Because if you listened to the movie and you watched the movie, you would know what was happening. You know what characters were planning, and you would get it. But no. And that's the problem I have. I think people are just so quick to jump the gun on something negative. If it wasn't expected, they hate it. And it's stupid. Everyone gets upset when something happens in the movie that they didn't expect. And I find that kind of stupid, in all honesty. I look for that because I was expecting it to... I'm glad that they did it. They had those characters kind of get erased or killed off because this is the big game. This is the big moment for the whole universe. I want characters to die. I want characters to be killed. Now, I don't have to be happy about it. I mean, there's some characters I'd rather not see die, but fact of the matter is that they were themselves in a corner because there's not really any characters we could live with really dying, really. So, that's good on them. So when they kill them, or erase them, or whatever they do, you feel it. Even if you know, like, alright, this character will be back, they're not killing him off, or whatever, you still feel it. So, good job on their part in that. Now, let's see, I don't have that much time left, but yeah, overall, good movie, check it out. Thanks for watching, please subscribe and like the videos, and have a good day.